to the campaign messages?
So far, so good. Our message has gone very well with our voters, and we eagerly await the day, that is 7 December. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama last night uh, finished his campaign tour of the Western of. He was in the region on Monday and Tuesday, purposely to meet the clergy. Mahama fellowships with the clergy. That's how come you said you saw me on TV. I was there in my capacity as an evangelist of the Lord. So he met us and shared a lot with us. He spoke about the economy. He spoke about parliament. And then there was also that moment where some of the clergymen had the opportunity to also ask questions. So I will this morning start with some of the things that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama shared with them. He first accounted for his stewardship and what he left behind, letting them know the role he has played within our political space and the governance structure, starting with a deputy minister of communication, and then the main substantive minister for communication at an era under Jerry John Rawlings, may his soul rest in peace, and most of the things that they achieved. Today, we can talk of mobile phones and technology thriving and all that. That's where it all started. We find people calling themselves Dr. Digitization or whatever, and you ask them their background and their contribution. They have nothing to show. Apps, having apps, it's an easy thing. After you have built a very solid structure or foundation for communication and information technology to thrive, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama can boast of an ultra-modern NCA headquarters, Accra Data Center, Accra Digital Center, and then 800 kilometers of fiber optics, upon which all these digital platforms thrive. So, if you come and all these are laid, and you all programming and applications, these are easy matters that can be done. So he accounted for his stewardship and then said, when he was leaving office, he left the exchange rate, all this under the economy, the exchange rate at 3.85 interbank rate after 8 years. When they picked it from 1.2, he left it at 3.85. Then our local markets where some of us get $1,000, $2,000, it was 4 and 4.2. Mm-hmm. Today, someone who was touted to be an economic whiskey by the wife, and then Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo told the whole world that when it comes to economics, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia stands tall, and he held lecture upon lecture. Through that, we heard that when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. Mm-hmm. When he was saying that the exchange rate was around 4 cedis to a dollar. Today, this person, people believed that, from the things he was saying, he was holding lecture upon lecture over the media, explaining things, textbooks, things. When we told them that running an economy is different from this textbook thing, he set 170 questions to Pakwesi Misata, may his soul rest in peace. And he said these are not something he should pay attention to. He is working. So fast forward. Today, the exchange rate, how is it like under Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? When was the last time you heard Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia talking about exchange rate or dollar and all that? Today, under them, also under the economy, when we talk of the national debt, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, said when he was leaving, he left our debt at 120 billion. And for him, the 56 billion loan that he brought in, he did a lot of infrastructure that today is helping the economy. Is it roads? He constructed many flyovers, circle interchange. He initiated the Pokuase interchange. When it comes to the health sector, he ensured that we become the hub of health when it comes to giving good hospitals. He can boast of the 37 military hospital, even in Ashanti, Afari, Legon. We can talk of a lot. Let me restrict myself to the Ashanti region. Yes, President Kufuor had a dream of the Eurojet project. They came, there was not a dollar to it. We saw it as a good thing. We pursued and got money. Within the Ashanti region, we can boast of Kumawu. We can boast of Tepa. We can boast of Sewia. That is the Ashanti Regional Hospital. We can boast of the Afari Military Hospital. And all that around us, Komfanoche and Ultramodern Eye Center. So you realize that every sector. Now, there's a saying that water is life. Within the Ashanti region, he ensured that Konongo has good drinking water. Mampong has good drinking water. Kumewu has good drinking water. And even for us who depend on Barikesi, there was an expansion. Today they pump millions of gallons of water, all for us. Now, he said all this. Inflation. John Dramani Mahama left the inflation rate at 15.7 in 2022 under Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Nanado Danko Ekufuado. Inflation was around 54.3%.
Okay.
Today is around 22%. They have not come close to what John Dramani Mahama left. Today, everybody will wish that at least we get these indicators, the exchange rate, when we have the 2016 rate. Everybody will wish. So at every sector, John Dramani Mahama has excelled. He excelled.
But they give you the position, or they explain that, well,
COVID-19.
They were on track. And
COVID-19
came
Ukraine, Russia,
yes.
Queen Elizabeth's death.
So obviously,
the king, is he King Charles?
Yeah.
He is suffering from, I think, some cancer-related issues. It's also affecting the economy.
I've not heard them use those excuses, but COVID,
Hamas,
Russia, Ukraine,
Israel.
well, they talk about these things, that
yes.
there was a global situation
Yes.
that impacted. Reason some of these things are happening. So it's not that they chop the money. It's not that they are bringing hardship onto Ghanaians. If indeed Ghanaians are feeling that they have managed systems and structures much better under the given circumstances.
Okay. Caesar.
Yeah.
These excuses, they are funny and laughable. When you elect a leader worth his salt will not be given excuses for every problem, but will profess solutions to the problems.
Okay.
Caesar, COVID-19 alone brought in about 33 billion. IMF gave us money, World Bank gave us money, African Development Bank and other institutions gave us money. When Ken Ofori-Atta came to Parliament to give account, he said we spent 12.2 billion. And then we had even excess. The excess went into the state coffers. So how do you blame a pandemic that brought you so much money, even in excess? How do you blame for your mismanagement? Ukraine, Russia. Let's look at the imports that we make and see how much import we make from Ukraine and Russia and the impact as compared to the other nations, China and the rest. Caesar, when you give such excuses, you are not a leader. That one reason that we should not even vote for you. Now, let's look at the loans alone. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia alone have brought in 647 billion. this is money that has come into the nation. How do you still complain? It is under them that we, for the first time in our history, have had domestic debt exchange. That today we cannot even pay bondholders, their interest and all that. It is them with all this money into the system. So, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, after giving account of what he did and what he left, and the reason he is coming back, he said he's like a military, an ex-military officer. When there is crisis, we fall on the most experienced ones to come to the rescue. So Ghanaians have called him back. The reason he is coming back. Some of the men of God had the opportunity to ask questions. One preacher asked about the free SHS, and that they have heard that when they come, they will cancel free SHS. It is only the MPP that you go to school with, sit under the teaching of one teacher who will teach you review, define review. The MPP person will leave the class and says review means cancellation. When in simple terms, re means whatever you are doing, do it again. View means watch. So review simply means look at it again. In Akan parlance, there's a saying that the ultra side names and a. So if you want to trust sa and know that your sa is straight, whilst you are trying the sa, you must be looking back from how far you have come. So you know that you are on the right track or you are moving away from the straight path. That is simply review. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said, thank you for the question. Yes, we've also heard of the many lies of the MPP. But this is what I mean. I started progressively free, knowing that these issues that we have today in the SHS sector, we will have them. I had foresight. So let's build classrooms, more classrooms, with the E-blocks, community day schools, so that people will not have to travel far, but can have access to secondary education within their enclave. E-blocks. He said, I want to give Ghana 200. When he was leaving office, 123 out of the 200 were different stages. About 49 were completed. 49 fully completed. When the World Bank saw that it was good, they, out of the 49, came and built 25 for us. That is leadership. Today, many students are having their classes in these E-blocks. Many have also been left to rot. 2 weeks ago, I went to Ofuase Ayirebi. I used the Adansia Sukwa area. Okay. We went through Bosome Frehu. I saw E-block painted, standing in the bush.
Okay.
I saw it myself.
Not being used?
Not being used. Can you imagine those in the area, how beneficial this building would be to them?
Okay.
And then they walk about saying that we built them in bushes. Ask yourself, Opokuwari, Prempe, when they were building them, was it in the market square? Those areas, the reason you see them with so much land space around them is because that place was a bush. Look at the trees. Some of them are over 50 years. So you must think, not always easy way. Today, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says, yes, with all this, he gave day students free. They started with day students. And then the following year, 100,000 and over boarding students were given something to support them. Today, it has come to stay. He is not coming to cancel it as the MPP claim. They are lies. For him, he has made a promise that the first 100 days, there will be a stakeholder consultation.
But do you believe the NDC has got superior message, superior track record, superior policies compared to the other political parties?
Every sector. The NDC has a solid track record. Is it a Greek? Every sector. NDC has solid track record. Health sector, education, solid track record. And in our manifesto, our message, every sector has a share of that. And that is what we are looking at. One area to look at is also job creation, unemployment.
Okay.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said he left unemployment rate 8.4%. These are not his own figures. Everybody can find out. Today, unemployment rate is at 15%, almost double what he left. What does it mean? There's the need for us to do something drastic, something intentional, something deliberate about fixing it.
The NPP keeps putting out and fundamental government and the jobs that it has created. Just yesterday, even Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was in Kwadaso, and obviously he says the plan is there to get much more of the youth also engaged. And he talked about what he intends to do for the youth of Kwadaso, about 5,000 plus or so. As in digital skills, the plan is there. He talks about the job that they've even created, and certain figures in the past has been given. 2.6 million jobs have been created, and all of that.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia should not be trusted. He lacks credibility. Credibility, when you say someone is credible.
The MPP has elected to lead them to election 2024. You are sitting here saying it shouldn't be trusted.
The MPP as a whole group, I've said it, MPP is a collapsed party. So when they have chosen someone, it is their own cup of tea. After 7 December, they will see their smoothness level. So Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia cannot be trusted. Let's do this fact check right now.
Okay.
During the manifesto launch, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said they've created 2.3 million jobs. Fact check me. How many months on? About less than 6 months. Let's use 6 months. 6 months on, he comes to say they've created 2.6 million jobs. Difference 300,000.
Maybe it's an add-on to that.
In 6 months. Yeah, in which sector?
Maybe.
It's not maybe. We are talking figures.
Okay.
If he is credible, he is. If he is not, he is not.
Okay.
There's no middle ground. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia cannot be trusted. So, during their manifesto launch, he came and said they've created 2.3 million jobs in 8 years. Almost 8 years. And then, 1 month to general election, you said you've created 2.6. That 300,000, which sectors? Break it down for us.
Okay.
Even government payroll, those on it are not up to 1 million. So which sectors? Then they will say private sector. The private sector that has collapsed. Many businesses have collapsed because of exchange rate. Over 40 taxes. 40 taxes introduced by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and this government. And he is promising. Do you remember when we talk of credibility, what you said yesterday, what you are doing today, and what you are saying you will do tomorrow? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia told His Excellency John Dramani Mahama that he was in government then. Why is he promising? If you say you do this, you do. Why haven't you done it in your 8 years? Today, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the promises he is making, why hasn't he done it in this 8 years?
Why, he gave a beautiful answer.
That if he does it, what will he put in his manifesto?
Yeah.
What will he do when he becomes president?
He to him, that's a beautiful response.
Can we do a little exercise on intelligence?
How do you mean?
If you say someone is intelligent,
yeah.
When you throw a question at the person, look at their manner, their postures, and even their tone. Mm-hmm. When that question was asked, he started stammering and giggling and laughing. You realize that he was taking time to think through. But look at the answer that came. Does it make sense to anybody? That today you have power. People are suffering. You claim to have solutions. You will not do it. But you rather put it on paper and come and tell us that when we give you another term, you will do it. What have you done? Collapse banks? Galamsey, destroying our forest and our river bodies. People are dying. You cannot pay bondholders. You were blocked from accessing the bond market. You were downgraded. It is only Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia that is promising that what they have done, when he come, he will cancel it. He will abolish e-levy. He will abolish betting tax. When today they have the power to do so. What does the scripture say? What did Jesus say?
He says he's a mate, so he's not the direct or the final.
He even said on that same platform that the budgets that have come, they are not his budget. It is Nanado's budget. Yeah. He said it. Yeah. And you want to vote for such a man to lead a country like Ghana? Why? When our director, legal Edugita Maklu, Esquire, said 7 December's election will be a test of the nation's sanity. Mm-hmm. I agree with him. It will be a test of our sanity as a people. Caesar, the history, a little history has taught me that from 1992, every party that has been given the mandate, that's 2 terms. That is history now. The reason the MPP will say they are breaking the 8, because it's never been done. And you ask them, they say it is possible. Possible based on what? Now, all those who did 2 terms, what people looked at, and people have always looked at, was the state of the economy. Mm-hmm. I've spoken about it. The NDC, Rawlings, 2 terms, the economy played a role. That is why the NDC lost, and President Kufuor came. President Kufuor with the MPP also lost after 2 terms, because the economy played a role. John Dramani Mahama Mills, 2 terms. Also, the economy played a role. So history has taught me that every government is given 2 terms. Until in the future, it is broken. Today, that thing stands. And the people of Ghana have also looked at corruption. Corruption has always played a critical role in the choice Ghanaians make. Today, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Nanado, their record in terms of corruption is worse in the 4th Republic. Worse.
Really?
Yes. And there are indicators to show.
Okay.
John Dramani Mahama's worst performance in terms of score by a world body was 43. John was able to score 48, 47, 46. The year 2016, when we were having an election, the MPP pushed this corrupt. It was a perception. And he scored 43. Nanado came his first year when he said, I will fight corruption with the Anas principle.
Yeah, he said that.
And all that. His first year, 2017, his score was 40. 40. One repoto. And then 2018, 2019, 41, 49.
Let me put a brakes on you. We'll come and continue that. I need to go for a quick commercial break. I'll be back. But Feroce,
he will not come.
Was to join us. I understand It's a bit of an emergency.
He will not come. They always have an excuse. So to land.
But he's bringing somebody in. But
they will not come. Look at their time. They will not come. The one who got the topics and prepared will not come. The one who just, they will not come. They don't, MPP, go. They don't even have communicators.
Really?
Call them, they won't come. And the evidence is here for us, clear.
It's just an emergency.
Emergency, they always have an excuse. Didn't they say the problem we are facing today is because of COVID, Russia, Ukraine, and Queen Elizabeth death? They always have an excuse, emergency call. So, John Dramani Mahama's worst performance in the fight against corruption is Nana Addo Bawumia's best. 43.
I'll be back.